Okay, once again, this video is for those of you who are planning to tell your story on Life's About Living. So in this video, we're going to talk about how. The first video, we talked about who, am I the right fit? We talked about what, as far as how the interviews are set up. I want to talk a little bit about how now. So how do I set up my studio for a Life's About Living interview? And once again, it's very easy. This may be in your kitchen. It may be in your living room. It may be behind your desk in your study. Once again, this is my studio. This is just a shelf and just a backdrop, and you can see it's nothing fancy. But I want to talk a little bit about some of those things. First of all, let's talk about number one, audio. You've got to have a good audio. What I have here, and you can't see this, but I have a Yeti speaker that I can just speak into. So, first of all, there's input and there's output, and there's different kinds of output. I'll tell you a funny story. When I started doing interviews on the radio and stuff, I'd use this big speaker, and I was talking, and the guy that I was interviewing me on his show, he said, you kind of look like a Texas Tech football coach. I didn't really get it at that time, but so probably a better thing to do to look a little bit better is to use just some headphones, just not some headphones, but some just some earplugs, and you can put this in your ear and listen. I usually use one of them, and I've got it hooked into my computer. So very simple thing that you can buy at Walmart or buy online. So whatever works for you. So that's your input and your output. So get something like that to make it really easy. The next thing you're going to need is a camera. I'm using a HD 180p. It's just a Logi type. It's just and I can't show it to you or I'd move it, but basically it's not the camera on my computer. It's just a camera that you plug into the USB port, and you can find those online as well. So you kind of need all those tools to get set up. And the main thing too that we want to talk about a little bit is the backdrop. So it doesn't necessarily need to be. It needs to be kind of a light filled space. If it's kind of a dark place, like mine's my backdrop is a little dark, and so what I have is a light. You see, I've got one of these little ring lights that you can use. And that kind of helps a little bit. You don't necessarily have to put on makeup and all that stuff. I mean, Joe's not here, so we can talk about him. But without makeup, you're going to look fine. You're going to be a lot prettier than Joe is. So just go with it. Once again, this is about real people. We don't want someone with a button-up tie. We want somebody who's just a real life person telling their story, because we feel like, once again, you don't have to be an anchor on Fox or CNN to be able to tell your story. So we've talked about input, output as far as audio. We've talked about the kind of camera that you need. We've talked about backdrop. We've talked about lighting. We've talked about everything else. I think that kind of sets all that up. What I try to do before I have, like, for example, an interview online with someone, I will go and just make sure everything's set up on my camera. Most computers have a camera app, and so you can do that and just kind of check out your backdrop and everything before you start, so that you're ready to go. Because one thing we don't want, as far as efficiency, we want to make sure, first of all, that we got good audio, good video, and all that set up for a perfect interview, because we really want the audience to listen to what you have to say. We don't want them to be distracted by other things. I'm Dr. Page, the best guy to see on the worst day of your life, and thanks for joining us on Life's About Living. Once again, if you'll put your questions in the contact page, maybe a little bit about your story. We're also going to have an email address for you to sign up with, just for the people who are interested in telling their stories. Once again, life's busy, and so we may not get back to you, instantaneously. So I'm still a practicing surgeon, so life's crazy. Hey, we look forward to this, and I want to encourage you. Just give us the information and throw it over the plate, and we'll see if we can hit it. Have a great day.